Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, and welcome to the Mystical Musings Show. I am your host, Mary Brown, and we are on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. This is a live call-in show. I will be taking your calls a little bit later in the show. If you want to call in for a free mini reading live on the air, the number to call is 714-816-4628. Again, that number is 714-816-4628. And don't forget to join us on our Facebook group, Psychic Talk Radio on Facebook. All right, so before we get started with our topic for today, which is sacred space crystals, we'll be talking about how to use crystals to help create our sacred space. But before we get to that, I wanted to tell you what the card of the day is, and you can find that posted on the Psychic Talk Radio Facebook group. Our card of the day comes to us today from the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards by Denise Lynn. Artwork in that deck is by Jesse Reich, and the name of the card is Crossing Bridges. And the message for that card is that it's time for healing and connecting and mending and releasing. So whatever crossing bridges means to you, take some time to kind of contemplate that today. You know, are you able to be a bridge between others in your life? You know, this is a holiday time of year, and a lot of times, you know, we get together with people that we don't see every day all year round, and sometimes, you know, it's a good opportunity for that healing and connecting and mending and releasing old paradigms that no longer fit. Okay, and our crystal for this month of December is clear quartz. That is a crystal that is very easily obtained and, you know, pretty much found everywhere. You can even find clear quartz yourself. And the reason that I chose clear quartz for the month of December is because, one, our topic, you know, for this month's show is creating sacred space. Clear quartz is a terrific stone to assist us in that because it helps amplify and transmute different energies, and it helps us move light and energy into and out of spaces, as well as our aura field as well. It's a great stone to amplify and enhance our intentions. And if you spend some time meditating with clear quartz, it's terrific to help us develop a deeper sense of clarity. So before we start taking calls, I see a bunch of callers in the queue. Callers, I will be getting to you. Let's talk about this idea of creating sacred space. Why would we want to do that? What purpose might it serve? And creating sacred space, you know, to me, it gives us a chance to connect with and communicate with our higher self. You don't have to have a whole separate, like, spare room to dedicate to this, but if you do have a spare room that you can use to create your sacred space, that's always wonderful. But it can even be like a little corner of the room or a little special place where you can go and have some time to yourself. Sometimes we like to use that also when we're working as tarot readers and oracle card readers. If we're doing divination, it's terrific to create sacred space before we do that. And one of my favorite ways of creating sacred space is working with crystals. Okay. And there's no rigid set of rules when it comes to what crystals you can use to create your sacred space. But let's think about this idea of sacredness first of all. Okay, so what is sacred to one person may not be as sacred to another person, and that's okay. But you want to use stones and things that are meaningful to you. A lot of times when people create sacred space, they will use like iconography that means something to them. Maybe pictures of the saints or pictures of angels, things that might have meaning for them. Because you want to have things in your sacred space that do resonate with you in particular, that do mean something, that makes it feel like it's sacred to you. Um, One thing that I personally uh, utilize when creating sacred space is the four cardinal points, the four directions, um, however you want to term it. And in order to do that, it it goes without saying you kind of need to know where the directions are in relationship to the space you're in, right? So, what's funny is like I have this old timey compass that I love to use. I have a thing for like compasses for some reason, but you don't have to use a physical compass to determine the directions if you're not really certain of them. There are a lot of like really effective compass apps that you can download on your phone. Most of the ones that I found are free. And they may have advertising, but yeah, you could download a compass app to your phone and use that to determine where north, south, east, and west is. And also, it's not just about what where you are, location wise with those directions. It's also about what those directions mean to you. And one reason that I think it's really kind of cool to use the four directions in creating sacred space, especially when we're creating sacred space with crystals, is that these these directions, yeah, they have special meaning for us, but also when you think about your own life, what is north of you? What is south of you? What does going east mean? What does going west mean? What experiences have you had in those different directions? And you can collect stones. They don't have to be expensive crystals that you find in a specialty crystal shop. You can go out in nature and gather these things, the things that catch your eye, the things that speak to you. They can be, plain pebbles that you might find. They can be little pieces of granite. Whatever stones that you find around you, they don't have to be, bought in a shop necessarily. You could go out with your compass app or your compass, like in your own town or on your own property if you have some acreage, and what do you find to the north? What do you find to the south, the east, and the west? That's another way to approach it that doesn't involve necessarily spending a lot of money in a shop somewhere. So that's just one thing to keep in mind, is that when we use stones to create sacred space, the value of the stones that we use, it's a personal value. It's not a monetary value. Now that being said, there's nothing wrong with choosing particular stones that you're really attracted to and going shopping for them. And like I said, there's no hard and fast rules with this. It's really just what is going to be meaningful to you. And there are some stones that you might consider for the properties associated with them in creating sacred space. Like I said, clear quartz is a wonderful stone for enhancing energy, purifying spaces. Selenite is another one that's terrific. But you might also have stones that maybe have like a particular meaning for you. Like when I think of crystals that I use when I'm creating sacred space, a lot of times they don't have to do with the directions at all. They have to do with just things that mean something to me. When I look at Porcelli Bluestone, that's one particular stone that I do use in creating my sacred space. And it has meaning for me because I feel connection to Stonehenge. I feel a connection to that part of the world through my ancestry, and I really feel a wonderful connection to Porcelli Bluestone. So that is a stone because it's meaningful to me that I'm going to want to have in my sacred space. Uh, Another stone that I like to use is selenite. And selenite is another terrific stone for purifying a space, and that idea of being connected to divine light that we have with selenite. So there's numerous reasons you can't make a mistake with this. Okay, so I think a lot of times when we think about things like creating sacred space, we try to adhere to a formula, or we try to listen to what somebody else has to say. So like the stones that I'm suggesting today, I'm not saying like you have to use those stones. I'm just giving you an example of why I chose some of the stones that I have chosen for my sacred space. And so what do we do in sacred space? Well, it can be a wonderful thing to create so that when we want to have a few quiet moments of meditation, or we want to have a few quiet moments of contemplation, or we want to connect with our higher self, or we want to connect with our angels, setting up sacred space and having a chance to put some time aside to be there undisturbed, it really helps a lot. It helps us get into the feeling, okay? Because, I think that's really important, that, we really are able to feel the connection when we're trying to make the connection. A lot of people will ask me, well, I want to connect with my guides, I want to connect with my angels, and I don't know how to go about doing that. I'll try to meditate and nothing happens. I found a prayer to say and nothing happens. And I think a lot of times, we have that experience of nothing happening because we're using somebody else's words, we're using somebody else's technique, we're doing it, as if this is just a, equation that we plug in the values and bingo, an angel appears. It doesn't work that way. We've got to be authentic, right? And trying to connect to the divine and trying to connect with our higher self. Authenticity is probably the most important ingredients, of the ingredients that we use, all these different things that we do. And so that, again, goes back to the idea of what makes a space sacred. It's things that actually authentically mean something to you. So if crystals is something that, really do mean something to you and you feel a strong connection to them, then, spend some time examining that. What stones in particular? What experiences have you had with your crystals that have become like special memories? What crystals have become like touchstones for you? So those are just some things to think about here. I should also mention that we also have a chat room going along with this show, that if you want to follow along online, you can do that as well if you're not listening through Blog Talk Radio or through your phone. We have a live video going right now on our Facebook group, which is Psychic Talk Radio on Facebook, and you can use that to basically function as the chat room. So you can post your comments or questions in there if you don't want to call into the show. And I will be looking through the comments on our Psychic Talk Radio Facebook post. It's the live video that was just posted by Psychic Talk about 12 minutes ago. And I will be looking in there and checking for comments and questions, and I'll be happy to address those on the air as well as the calls that we have on our switchboard here on Blog Talk Radio. All right, so why don't we go ahead and take a few calls. We've got a number of people lined up. I will get to as many of you as I can today. And let's see who our first caller is. It's very exciting. Always excited to see who is out there in radio land. And our first call is area code 239. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi.
Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Florida, and my name's Lana.
Hi, Lana. Did you want a mini reading today, or did you want to talk about creating sacred space?
A mini reading would be fantastic.
Terrific. What did you want a reading on? What's your question?
Well, I'd like to know about a soulmate coming to me in the love department.
Okay. And when you mean soulmate, what do you mean? Because people define it in different ways.
Oh, okay. I mean, someone that I can really connect with. A real, a true connection, a true love connection.
A real love connection, a real partner. Okay,
Correct.
Let's take a look at that. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to pull some tarot cards on this and see, do we see somebody like that coming into your life, and what can we know about them if we do, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, it's interesting. The very first thing that comes up is the Knight of Swords. Okay. And
okay.
Sometimes what that can indicate is like a man who's, or it can be a woman too, and the knights don't really have to be gender specific. But it indicates someone sometimes who's an air sign. Okay. So think of your air signs. That is your Geminis, your Libras, your Aquariuses. No, it doesn't have to be, but oddly enough, oftentimes it is. And
okay,
what kind of time frame are we talking about with this? It's kind of interesting. I feel like we're not talking about this happening for probably another 3 months is when you would meet this person. Okay. And
okay.
What else can we know besides possibly being an air sign? Some other qualities that go along with the Knight of Swords. The knights oftentimes, are, they're about movement. They're about people that, have a plan, So it's not going to be somebody who, is just kind of clueless, meandering through life, So that's a good thing. Another thing, too, about the Knight of Swords, to me, the swords energy is happening on the mental plane. We're talking about somebody who's smart. They're sharp.
Okay.
Sometimes they can be a little too single-minded. Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind with that. And can even be a bit, challenging, argumentative, which can, sometimes make things exciting and fun. Somebody who's going to be intellectually stimulating. Okay. And then the other thing that comes along with this Knight of Swords, though, is we have the Empress card. Okay. So, and we have the Nine of Pentacles as well. So this could be somebody who, they have a career, they kind of have their stuff together, which is always good. The Empress energy coming up is interesting because, it's one of the major female archetypes in the tarot, and it's got that nurturing kind of maternal aspect to it. So even though this is someone who may be pretty witty and pretty clever and kind of more in the cerebral, they also, know how to nurture. They're also grounded, So those are some.
That's good.
Yeah,
No,
those
that's
are
good.
some.
What makes you say 3 months? What gives you that idea from the cards? 3 months?
Yeah, what comes up with this? I get a couple because I have two cards that are indicating like threes. The Empress, which I'm not really looking at as timing, but in my timing position, I get the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups, not only am I getting it from the timing of the Three and the Cups, but Three of Cups is also like when we get together. It's the idea of like get-togethers, and the other thing I would say about the Three of Cups is there is a potential that this is someone that is introduced to you by other people, maybe friends that you know. Maybe there's a way that, this person, maybe, because it's a card of friendship too. It could be a mutual friend, so along those lines. So, so that's what I'm getting. I hope that helps you.
Wow, that's very interesting. Yes. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thanks so much for calling. Enjoy your weekend. Take care.
I will. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that was a fun call from Lana in Florida. I'm going to reshuffle my cards here and see who else is waiting out there in the ethers. Okay. Put my, I don't know why I'm like a slow shuffler today. It's just one of those Saturday things. So our next call is coming to us from area code 256. Caller, are you there? Area code 256.
Yes. My name is Kimberly, and I'm calling from Georgia.
Hi, Kimberly. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. So did you want a mini reading today?
Yes, please.
Okay. And what's your question?
Well, my question is about career. I feel like I've been spinning my wheels for the last 5 years, and I'm longing to do something different, more creative. And I just want to know what do you get from that?
Okay. Let's take a look at that. And so it's time for a change, basically, for you when it comes to career. And you want to do something more creative. I'm going to actually pull some angel cards on this. Interesting. Okay. So, wow. Yeah, so the first thing that comes up is talking about diversity. It's like we need more more different energy coming in. We could also get the angel choice along with that, though. Not only are we seeking to be more creative and have some different experiences with this, but it also talks about job security being important too. We do need, why do we have a job, right? Usually to pay the rent. We want that security to go along with it. And
right.
The other thing that comes up here, you're seeking to do something else. You're seeking to do something more creative. But I'm also saying like that there's a kind of a line of continuity connected to this, as if maybe there's, from what the things that you have done, maybe it's about not completely doing a left turn and choosing something totally out of your experience, but maybe the more creative aspect of things that you've done in the past. Does that make sense? Like I feel like, maybe you've been involved maybe in more it's like if you've been involved more in the administrative side of things or more of the paperwork, and you're not getting to actually create the thing connected to all of that.
Right.
The other thing that comes up too, it's talking about refinement and like narrowing down to like the one or two things that are really going to be connecting to your creative drive and your heart. The heart chakra comes up here a lot, because a lot of times when we're doing something more creative, we're really in our heart space. So that what I would suggest based on these cards is that you spend some time kind of narrowing it down as to like what it is you want to do. And the other thing is too is talking about like are you happy where you're at? Because I feel like there's this also sense to like move with this. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
are you
you're
feeling
right on.
that?
I mean, I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful for where I am and grateful for the job, but I'd rather be somewhere else.
Okay. Because it feels like it's connected, that it's not just, a shift in career, but the shift in career is connected to also, a shift in location as well. So and I feel like, it's connected to this idea of narrowing things down. So narrowing down, like one, where you think you would like to be, okay, and kind of what you would like to do and what the opportunities are connected to there. I feel that it's not going to be that difficult, okay? That it's just sort of hinging on you like choosing the direction that you want to go in. And not only career wise, but like actual physically where you want to live, and being able to, kind of narrow that down, because it's like there's a sense of being in a, like feeling like we're stagnating a little bit where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, and so I feel like part of lifting that stagnation is about like getting things going, making some choices here, and just choosing. And also know that you're not going to make a mistake with this. If part of this is like, look, it's very, very rare thing when we're going to make some big change in our life and we make that with everything being guaranteed for us, right? That rarely happens. I don't know if that ever happens, And so, I feel like there's I don't know if I'd call it worry, but there's a little bit of hesitation going on because we're afraid that we're going to make the wrong choice and we're going to end up in the wrong place, and then we're not going to find the right job. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. As much as you can, let that go and just start to feel confident that you're not going to make that kind of mistake. Okay. And connect to your intuition. And trust in your own like instincts and your own inner guidance. I think that you're gonna make the right choices. I think something is just gonna like sort of pop up for you, and I think that it's all gonna come together once we get the ball rolling.
Right.
So that's what I've got for you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You take care. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. All right. That was a terrific call from Kimberly in Georgia. And we are at the halfway mark through the show. We often call it the bottom of the hour, even though I feel like it's halftime. It's not the bottom of an hour, it's halfway through the hour. Anyways, this is a time when we like to talk about what shows we have coming up on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. And let's just run through that real quick, although you can find the list of upcoming shows by going to psychictalk.net/upcoming. So the next show that we have is actually tomorrow, December 8th. This is going to start at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and it is the Magic Universe show with your host, Sharona Rapsick. She's going to be talking about auras. And then on Monday, December 9th, it's 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, the Wisdom of the Soul show with your host, Janice Fuchs. And then later on Monday, right after that, I guess a couple hours after that, is the Compassionate Light Healing and Guidance show with your host, Catherine Hahn. That's going to be 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. She's going to be talking about the heart of service. And on Friday is our next show. This is going to be the Doctors Are In show with Dr. Rose and Dr. Dax. They're going to be talking about archetypes in your life, and they're going to be talking about setting up sacred space, altar, and visualization as well. And then next Saturday, I'll be back for the Psychic Saturday show with my co-host, Dax Carlisle. It's going to be a Psychic Spin episode where we use the cards to take a look at the big questions. And the big question next Saturday we're going to be doing the Psychic Spin on is, are there infinite universes? So I'm really excited about that. That is our upcoming shows. And again, you can find all of these listed at psychictalk.net/upcoming. And I'm going to go right over here real quick and see what's going on in Facebook. Anything, I am toggling between all of these screens. Don't you love technology? Okay, I think we're good there. All right, so let's see who else is waiting on the line for a mini reading. And again, if you want to call in for a mini reading, you can. There's still some time to get in the queue. That number is 714-816-4628. If you want to be live on the air and ask your question to get a free mini reading. Again, that number is 714-816-4628. And before I take a call, I think I need to reshuffle my deck. I like to do that. I love shuffling cards. And okay, so who do we have that's been waiting the longest here? This is area code 267. Area code 267. Caller, are you there?
Hi, thank you for taking my call. My name is Donna from Pennsylvania.
Hi, Donna from Pennsylvania. Love Pennsylvania. What did you want to talk about today?
Yes, I just rekindled a relationship. We got back together with someone I had broken. We had broken up for a while. And we're back together. Do you see everything being okay as of now? Like, do you see any ex or anything coming back in, or do you see him being sure of this?
Oh, do we see him being sure of this rekindling? Like, is he going to stick with it, kind of thing, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, let's take a look at that. I'm just going to do a tarot reading on that. So this rekindled relationship, what do we see happening with it? I guess is an easier way to kind of answer it, and then we'll just address what comes up. Okay. So what do we see going on with this? Well, it looks pretty good, actually. Let me check one thing here. Okay. So, okay. So look, right now, I think he's pretty sure of himself. Okay. We have the Six of Wands along with the Chariot card. He's like, yes, I want to do this. Okay. And I think that's a good sign. I think it goes well. The problem is that I'm seeing in the cards here is like a little bit later down the line. Now, I'm not seeing another ex come in or any of those things, right? But what I'm seeing is that when we hit a snag, when we have conflict, that he tends to like kind of go quiet a little bit, We have the Five of Swords leading it into the Four of Swords. The Five of Swords to me, fives are about conflict in these kind of readings for me, and Five of Swords talks about boundary issues. And it's like when we kind of press up against, maybe what the other person's boundaries are. And that's followed by the Four of Swords. Now, look, that does not indicate a breakup to me, right? It just indicates that he has difficulty with resolving conflicts. When things get a little tough, he seems to, kind of put things on pause a bit. And so that's the only issue that's really coming up with this. It's not that we can't move past it or resolve it. I think we can, but I think that it's going to take a little bit of work. I think things between the two of you are going to be fine. They might be fine for like the next 6 months even, I see a lot of positive aspects to this relationship. But I do feel that when, he deals with things that don't go his way, he has difficulty either communicating about that or facing issues so that they can be resolved. So that's the only thing I would kind of look out with him.
Okay, you know what? I got the chills all over my body because you read him to a T. I mean, that is so him, and the problem through the whole thing is, because I would say to him, I wasn't raised that way. We talk things out, in my family.
Yeah.
We don't just, I'm not talking to you and move away, because I've always been not a fan of that. And I thought he did it on purpose, but I just wanted to validate that you read him to a T.
Wow.
But do you see him talking to anybody, like anybody calling him or him talking with anyone? Like
you mean
female
like
relationship?
like another woman? Like is he making time, and whether it's just talking or whatever? Let me take a look at that real quick. Okay. All right. So, do we see him chatting up anybody else? I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing the concern of that. Is that something that happened in the past? Because of what I'm getting is
he was
okay.
Well, to tell you the truth, I was. It's a long story. My husband. We weren't together, but we were living together, and I didn't blame him, and there really was nothing I could do, and that's really why we broke up. But now, me and my husband are, officially split up. We had to do that to move on, and so, and he had a relationship for a year, and when me and my husband permanently split up. He was with this woman, and then now we're back together, and I'm just like thinking, is he going to go backwards?
Right.
So that's all.
Yeah, I don't see him doing that. I feel like, that's in the past for now. I'm not seeing him like seeking that out. I feel like, he really does want this to work out between the two
Oh,
of you.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You have a good weekend. Thanks for calling.
Okay, and you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. That was a terrific call from Donna in Pennsylvania. I'm just going to reshuffle my cards here, and we'll see who is next on the line out there in Radio Land. Okay, another sacred space crystal that I use. I'm kind of looking around me since we're talking about that today. Another one that is, easy to get a hold of, doesn't really cost very much, but is howlite. Okay, so we might be familiar with those salt lamps. Those you can kind of find them anywhere. You can even see them sometimes for sale in grocery stores and stuff. And that's actually a crystal. It's a terrific stone to have in your sacred space because, again, it keeps it cleansed, keeps the energy cleansed. The great thing about salt lamps is that they help cleanse our air as well. And so that's something that you might consider too. It's also a great gift idea too, since the holidays are coming up, and we're thinking, what do you get for the metaphysician in your life? Sometimes a little salt lamp, is a terrific gift, and it's a great thing to keep in our sacred space as well. All right, so with that little tip, we'll go ahead and see who is next in line here on the Mystical Musings show, and we have area code, is that 229? Area code 229. Caller, are you there?
Hi, yes, ma'am. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Melvin. I'm calling from Georgia.
Melvin from Georgia. How are you today?
A little kind of drained a little bit, but I guess I'm okay.
What did you want to talk about today?
Just a mini reading. I'm going through a lot, so I don't want to waste too much time on your line.
You're not wasting my time. What? You said you're going through a lot. Well, what's one thing that we can take a look at for you today?
Okay. Well, I recently got in a wreck October 31st this year, Halloween Day, and I have a rental car, and I got injured, and I injured my hip, my lower back, and my neck on my right side. So I do have an attorney and all of, I do have an attorney and all of that, but I just wanted to know, like, when do you see me getting another vehicle? Because my car was total loss. I was hit by a truck that had a big, very huge trailer on the back of it, and it knocked me completely off the road. And I do have an attorney. But I'm just in pain. But I just want to know about, for me getting another vehicle. They are going to send me to pay. They are going to. It's a total loss, so they're going to send me the difference for a total loss. And I just need something to get around in. Nothing extraordinary right now, but down the road.
Yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at this idea of, getting a replacement vehicle, right, at least. That's not a rental.
Yes,
right. Oh, my gosh. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I completely can relate. You know, I think a lot of us who've been in that situation where, you know, your car gets totaled, you're in physical pain, you've got lawyers working on it, and it's like, when is something going to happen? You know, something
that's true.
Start getting back, right? Yeah. Let's see. Vehicle. Time frame. We do have one of the knights that comes up in the outcome position. That's pretty good because the knights are about movement. They're about traveling, right? They're riding a horse. You're not looking for a horse, but you know, a car.
Yeah.
So I do see the vehicle coming up. You know, I see a lot of you know, people involved with this. I feel like you're going to get something on this though pretty soon. I would say probably we're talking within a month's time frame, like between now and the end of the year is when you are able to, you know, get what you need in order to get a new vehicle. You know, we have all these money cards. We have the Page of Pentacles coming through with this, the King of Pentacles, the Hierophant card is right in the center, the Knight of Pentacles. You know, it's like, oh, the money, money, money. You know, cards are coming up indicating like that's an aspect of this, you know, is being given like the funds at least. And you said you do have a lawyer. That is very good. The Hierophant just asked us to kind of keep the faith, but I feel like we're talking like this happening before the end of the year, at least on the vehicle side of things. Okay?
Okay.
So,
the overall, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
Yeah, the overall picture of what's my recovery, and do you see improvement not just from my from the accident, but also from my other health issues that I have?
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, I'm not a doctor, so you know, definitely you have medical advisors as well, right? You're seeing a doctor, chiropractor, whatever.
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. You know, but you're just saying like overall, you know, am I gonna be just starting to feel better? Am I gonna be on the mend, right? You know, do we see things, you know, improving a bit there? And we can kind of take a look at that. See what comes up. 9 of Pentacles, that's good. 7 of Pentacles, we'll talk about that in a second. That Chariot card is terrific. And we have the 2 of Cups. You know, you do it with help. You know, helpful people helping you with that. Here's the thing. The 7 of Pentacles is an interesting card because to me that card speaks of expectations, you know. And with the 7 of Pentacles is saying that, like, sometimes we don't notice the progress, but little it's happening. Okay, so it's saying that we've got to keep our expectations reasonable. You know, that this isn't going to happen overnight, but you are going to see some improvements. You know, going from the 7 into the 9 of Pentacles with the Chariot card and ending with the 2 of Cups, to me, that's a wonderful improvement. It really is. But it's saying that it's going to take time to happen, and it's not something that you can force to happen. And also the other thing that I would say with this is that you're a partner in your own healing. Now, granted, we all are, right? But whatever you can do on your end, right? So, you know, not straining things that you don't need to strain, you know, the obvious things, but so much of this has to do with it's hard to say, with our mindset, okay? Because this stuff that happened to you, it's depressing. It's saddening.
And I'm going
it brings it brings our energy down. It brings our energy low, right? And so here we are, you know, here you are, Melvin, this organism, right? This amazing creature that has the ability within to also help to heal themselves. And it's very difficult to release that wonderful healing energy when we feel low, So
right, yeah,
I'm not saying like, have a unrealistic, like a super positive attitude, because that's really hard to do, and I don't know that accomplishes much. But I'm saying that, like, the things that we can do to kind of keep our spirit up, keep hope alive, do little things that are going to help you kind of be like not so low in energy. I love working with crystals. That's one way to do it. But it's like sometimes it requires a form of escapism. And what I mean by that is like, okay, so say, your hip is hurting you, your back is hurting you, and you just kind of have days where you just don't feel like getting up. Find something else to like shift your mindset to. Find an interest. What interests you? Watch a video of National Geographic animals in the remote part of the world, or anything that's going to get your mind off of it and interest you and invigorate you a little bit, even just on the mental level, is going to be helpful, because we can't focus on what's going wrong even when things have gone wrong, because it keeps us stuck. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. It keeps you stuck. But I'm online on Blog Talk Radio, and I'm on your page, and I see where you do private readings.
Yes.
Okay,
yes, I do.
Just want to see, would you be available after the show?
Yeah, I can be available after the show. Sure.
Okay, I will.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, because I want to ask some more questions, and I'm gonna. Yeah, I would need a little more time, and I don't want to hold nobody else up. But I'm going to go ahead and submit a payment, and I'm on PayPal as well, because I need your help.
Okay.
And
I'm happy
need your
to help.
insight.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll get together and set it up. Okay.
Okay. Do you think how long it will be before you call?
I'll tell you what. Right after the show ends in a little while, and I will look for your email, and we'll arrange time this afternoon. Okay.
Okay. No, the reason why I was asked because it's a game that I want to see, a football game. I'm a football fanatic, so I love my Georgia Bulldogs, and I hope my Georgia Bulldogs win. Yeah, I hope they win today. They play LSU, and I hope they win today, because if they win, they go to the playoffs. So they play at 4:00 here. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to even ask you. I'm not going to ask you who's going to win then.
Yeah, I don't do gambling questions. If that was my calling, I probably would be, in Bermuda or something, right?
Yeah. Oh no, I don't gamble. I'm a football coach myself. Yeah. So I don't do gambling.
So cool. Well, okay, Melvin. Yeah, I will try to, get to that, within the hour. Okay.
Okay, that'll be great. All right.
All right. Thank you for calling.
All right. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That was a lovely call from Melvin from Georgia. If anyone wants to book a private reading with me, you can find me by going to psychictalk.net/Mary. and send me an email, and we'll schedule your reading. Okay. We have time, I think, for at least one more caller. I'm just going to reshuffle my deck here once again. And let's see who is out there in Radio Land waiting for a call. So funny, I keep all these different crystals with the different decks that I use and stuff, and somehow I ended up with an extra one. I just noticed. That's very odd. I'm like thinking, where did you come from? It just came to join us for the show today. Little piece of that's bitonite, which is a wonderful stone. But bitonite is how I call it. It's spelled BYTOWNITE. It's got this lovely kind of like light champagne color. Another stone to check out if you're not familiar with it. And you never know, it might become part of your sacred space as well. All right, so let's see. Our next caller is area code 803. Caller, are you there?
Hey, how you doing? This is Chris from South Carolina.
Hi, how are you? What was your first name?
Chris.
Chris from South Carolina.
Chris from South Carolina, yeah. I need to set this question up. I've been doing magic and paying for magic to get that all year, and I'm still broke. So when's my big money coming?
Right. Why isn't this magic like coming to fruition yet, right? Okay. So
right.
when
is it coming? When am I getting my money? I've been telling people I'm getting money.
So you have a feeling about it. Right.
Yeah, because I've been doing this. I've been doing all kind of magic stuff.
Have you been doing other
stuff?
Have you been doing other things? Have you been doing other things too in order to bring that money in? Or are we relying on magic?
That's about it. I get disability, but that money runs out. That money runs out so fast.
Yeah.
So
that's not very much, right?
I had my own place, but my car blew up last April, and I didn't replace it. I've been walking everywhere I'm going. People kind of disrespect me because I don't have no car. So
isn't that's something that drives me crazy. It's like you see a man down and you're just gonna like put him down for it. That drives me nuts when people do that.
Glad I don't have a car. Everybody. Well, my mom is good. I had to walk over there. I usually would drive her to all her doctor's appointments, but I don't have a car, so it's been real rough for 2019.
Wow.
When I'm getting my big money.
Right. What's interesting here is the cards that come up on this are actually surprising to me, really, because, I don't really read with any expectations, right? But the cards that come up here are actually really powerful. We have the Strength card. We have the Chariot card in the outcome position. We have the Lover's card. We have the Emperor card. All major arcana cards except for one card, and that one card is the Seven of Pentacles, and it's in the past position. That's, again, the card of expectations and things not happening as quickly as we would like them to or that we expect them to. As far as time frame, on, having some more money flowing in, right?
Some big money.
Some big money. What's interesting to me is that we've got the same number keeps coming up over and over again, the number 7. Does the number 7 have any significance for you?
7. That's the God hour, isn't it? 7 o'clock is the God hour.
7 is thought of as a very spiritual number, right? Lucky 7. And as far as any big windfall of cash coming in, I'm getting that it's connected to the number 7. Now, that could be January 7th. That could be 7 weeks from now. That could even be 7 days from now. But that's the biggest number that's coming through here as far as when you might expect a bit of a windfall. And, yeah. So number 7's the number to keep in mind with this. The other thing that comes up with the Emperor card right in the center, it's also a reminder that it does matter, what we do, what we can do to make sure that we're in the environment where things are like functioning the best for us. And I know you've had some difficulties and some hardships, but what can you do to kind of nurture yourself and your situation? I feel like you're trying to take care of other people, but are you taking care of you too?
All right, I have to check on my mother, but, it's kind of hard to save money on a fixed income. I get disability, so it's hard to save because I have to buy my food, I have to pay my rent, I have to pay my light bill and my phone bill, so I can't really save.
Right.
Like $7.69 a month, so it's kind of hard to save that. And I want my father to buy, my biological father to buy me a car, right? He won't buy me a car. He says he'll help me out, but I can't save no money. So I'm working on manifesting it.
Yeah, what's interesting is like you mentioning your father. The Emperor card is the archetype of the paternal energy, of the father energy, and it's right in the center of this. And, he may prove to be more help than you're expecting at this point.
Well, I just met him when I turned 30. So I go up to D.C. to see him every other year, something like that.
Yeah.
I just met him I met him when I was a little boy, but I didn't know who he was. He was just real tall. And I'm real tall now, so I know now that, where I get my complexion and height from. And I look just like him. He'll be 90.
Wow.
But, I need help buying a car. I need a whole car because I can't pay no note every month. So I'm trying to manifest big dollars so I can get me a car and a house, some other stuff that I want. I was just is it coming soon? It has to be coming because I've done so much magic in 2019. I think I've done more magic in 2019 than a lot of other years.
Than all the other years combined. It was your magic year, and now you're looking for it to pay off maybe in 2020 for you. So and I feel that like a lot of times it's kind of like when we put our focus so much on, making something happen that sometimes, the other part of the equation is being able to like let it go a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
And trust. And trust that we've done what we can do and shift our focus to what this is saying is shifting your focus to like, in nurturing yourself a little bit, doing little things that are going to help you to kind of like feel like it's coming, get the feel that this is happening for you.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well,
so
thanks
you do see it coming? See it coming?
I see it coming around the 7th. Thanks so much for calling.
Thank
take
you.
Care.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. Well, that darking bog you hear, the barking dog you hear, is Mr. Spencer letting us know that it is the end of the show today. I want to thank my callers for calling in today. I love talking to you and connecting with your energy. I want to thank the listeners and anyone who I wasn't able to get to your call today. Remember, we've got shows upcoming several days a week on this. They all take callers. You can find them by going to Psychic Talk Radio, right, on Facebook. That's our Facebook group. You can find our upcoming shows by going to psychictalk.net/upcoming. And if, like our caller Melvin earlier today, you want to book a private reading with me, you can find me at psychictalk.net/Mary. And I hope that all of you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye, everybody.